Welcome in everybody to episode 33 of JD's Empire Sports Talk. Of course, JD back with you guys once again for a next couple of weeks that's going to be very exciting and also a lot of content coming out. For today, we'll have the Knicks and Rangers. I decided not to do it at the end of the week just because regular season is ending for basketball, and we learned that the Rangers were eliminated, so I felt that it was best just to start this week fresh with this news. Rangers eliminated, and of course, like I just said, Knicks will be starting the first round on Saturday. Then Wednesday or Thursday, depending on like time, we'll talk Mets. They'll be done with their twin series. Right now, they're playing good baseball. I think they can keep it going. There's still a lot of room to grow, so we'll talk about that. Hopefully, they can keep winning and they win a series or even sweep the Twins by the time we talk about them next. Later in the week, maybe we'll do Knicks again. Probably not. We'll probably just hold off till next week. Maybe do game one after game one. We do like a little recap and stuff like that. But we will have an NBA playoff bracket out. I know I will do one. Ryan's gonna do one, of course. Jet specialist Ryan Downey, and then CT he may do one. I'll reach out to see if he wants to do an NBA playoff bracket. We'll get those out there on Instagram and TikTok, see what people think, and hopefully one of us predict the correct champion, like we did for March Madness. Ryan came away with as a winner with the correct pick. So we'll reach out, see who's interested. Obviously, a part of the show that will do that. Next week, we're gonna have a ton of content. We'll of course do Knicks. We may start combining Knicks and Mets just because I don't want to do a only Knicks one and only Mets one when we can just put them together because the Rangers are going to be eliminated, so there's nothing really to talk about with them. And St. John's, they working on transfers, but they don't play for another 5 months or so, whatever, 4 or 5 months or so. So maybe even longer, 6 months. So that doesn't really make any sense. So, but next week we will be doing Jets, just a Jets episode, then a mock draft episode, and then a Knicks Mets episode, and then maybe a post draft episode. And we will be doing instant reactions of who the Jets pick. That's gonna be exciting. Hopefully we're happy. So the videos are out and they're good, or they're gonna be really bad. So we'll see what happens. But let's get episode 33 started and a great week ahead with the Knicks. They finished 51 and 31. Great season, of course, regular season. They did well. One game better than they were last year. So for the most part, in Tibbs's time as the Knicks head coach, which has been 5 years now, besides the first year into the second year, after that they've improved on the win total from 47 to 50 to 51 now this year. And of course, his first season they made the playoffs, but the only year not making it was the second season. So 4 to 5 playoff appearances for Tibbs and co. Um, I think there's a difference though. I feel like certain people don't think that the Knicks even have a chance of winning the first round, which I think is crazy. But they're not really getting talked about as much as they should. Then again, I feel like last year they were less talented, but they just came away with those extra loose balls. They did the extra little things, and they were fired up all the time. This year, I feel like they use their talent to their advantage, and they really don't get fired up or try to do those little things. Besides Josh Hart, but of those other guys, I don't think they really are willing to get down. I know Brunson takes charges and stuff like that, but some other people aren't really going all in. And it may have to do with the regular season. I know they don't want to get hurt in the regular season because this team had a ton of injuries throughout the year, and I think they're just trying to get through that, and which they did now. They got through the regular season, and now starting Saturday against the Detroit Pistons, who's going to be a challenge. I'm not saying they're not, but I think it's a little ridiculous how people are discounting a team that won 51 games, brought in Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, re-signed OG Anunoby. Brunson played great this year up until his injury. Josh Hart stepping into a full-time starter role, played outstanding. The bench is coming along, which I want to talk about in a little bit. But I think they have more room to grow than people are even. I don't know why they're getting disrespected, but I think it's honestly good for the Knicks. Why not, right? They people don't think they're going to do anything and go out there and just prove them wrong. I'm not saying they're going to go out there and win the finals because I think it's going to be very tough to do so even if they get through the East, which is going to be difficult. But first round, they should win that. I feel they should win that in 6 games. As let's say 6 games. I think Detroit will maybe win one or two. Definitely one. I think they'll get one at their place. If they could somehow come away with one at the Garden, that'll get a little bit more interesting. But I don't know. I feel like the Knicks, their home crowd is insane during playoff games. We saw that over the recent years. Detroit's a young team. They want to say they're tough. I think they're kind of. I know they try to start fights and stuff like that. That's not really tough. You're starting fights. That's not really doing anything for me. And the Knicks, as a veteran team, they're not going to fall for it. They may get a little ticked off at certain things, but they're not going to fall into the trap that Pistons try to get teams to fall into, especially guys like Isaiah Stewart, a few more, Kate Cunningham. I know he's not a fighting type of guy, but he's said a lot of how he feels the Pistons can go far in the playoffs. But you got to get through a really good Knicks team, and I think the Knicks should take the disrespect and run with it. They'd be like, okay, you don't think we're going to beat the Pistons? And even if we beat the Pistons, we're going to get blown out by the Celtics. Let's show that we can do this. And overall outlook, though, I think that they'll get through the Pistons, like I said, 5, 6 games, and I think they can give the Celtics a run for their money. That last game against the Celtics, they played great until the end, and they just couldn't close or shut the door on a really good team, of course. And the Celtics, they shot outstanding from 3-point range the entire season. In the playoffs, I don't think those numbers will stand up. They'll probably they're a really good shooting team, of course, so they'll be up there, but I really don't think they're going to be as high as we saw in the regular season. And against the Knicks, they had like their best shooting nights of the entire season, especially I remember opening night. But all those other games that they played, they really they shot the ball really well, and I think that the Knicks have learned. All right, we didn't beat these guys. We played them 4 times, whatever, 3 or 4 times. We have to learn from what we did wrong, and then we can get these guys in a playoff series. And I think that having the crowd more into it, I know they're always into it, but having them on your side. If you go to Boston, you split with them, and then you can come home 1-1. You're gonna have a legit chance of doing something. That becomes a best of 5 at that point. So I think that the Knicks really can do this, but they just need to get rid of the outside noise. Don't make it count. And I'm one of the probably the few believers in them right now. I know I am a Knicks fan, so it may be like, oh, you're just a fan, you believe in them no matter what. But I really think they have the recipe to be good. They have like a postseason team. They really do have the recipe. They have a point guard that can do it all. They have a big man that can shoot from three, play defense, do whatever he is needed. He can score from inside, outside, it does not matter. They have another big who I think they should start. I have been saying this for the longest time. Mitchell Robinson should start. And even if Josh Hart or Mikal Bridges, honestly, I would do Mikal Bridges off the bench. He can get his ton of shots up. He won't have to be hoping that he gets the ball. He'll get the ball off the bench. It's a different thing. And he'll still play a ton of minutes. That's not really the issue. I think if it's an ego thing, honestly, you're in the postseason, your ego shouldn't be an issue. Josh Hart can do it too, but I know they want to keep him in the starting lineup because of all the different things he's been doing for this team. I think it would be better suited for Bridges to be off the bench. But Mitch Rob, if he's in that starting lineup, he's the legit center. I know Cat is huge, but I really don't think he's as tough as Mitchell Robinson would be at the center position, which may not affect them in the game in the round against the Pistons. But as a team, you got to be looking for more than the first round. I know you can't look past the one game that you're playing, but you got to be able to say, okay, we can do things that other teams can't, and we have a shot. We have to start first game on Saturday night. Try Mitch and Cat as the top as the 4 and 5. See what happens. They probably won't do that because the way they've played it throughout the whole season, they haven't even changed that. So it'll be tough to do it in the postseason, but I think they would be fine doing it because Mitch can start the game, play 6 or 7 minutes, go take a breather for a while. Bridges can come in and he's playing with the starters for the most part until they come in with Landry Shamet, Campaign, and Deuce McBride. So it's very possible that they can do this. I know the bench would be a little short, but they're not. There's no way that the whole bench is going to play together. I mean, I know it would be a 9-man rotation, but all 4 of those guys aren't going to play together with the starter. It's going to be mix and match. It could be some guy, starters play for 5 minutes, come out, bench comes in, they're still mixing around with starters, they come out, then the other guys come back in and they rotate. So I really don't think that would be much of an issue that people have been saying, oh, then you have no big off the bench. Well, they'll make it work. Um, Health right now, that's one thing I really wanted to get to. The health is looking good. Something that we could not say last postseason. Even when they started in the first round last year, they didn't have Randall, who was their second best player, arguably their first up until Brunson went on an explosion. And Brunson, he was big in the postseason last year up until his injury. So I think if he can unlock that another level to his game, that would take this team even more to another level that they can get to. But like I was saying, the health. They're fully healthy in their nine-man rotation that they want to get to. Then they have guys like Precious Achiuwa, DeLon Wright, who's more than capable. If they really want to use him, he can do it. PJ Tucker, I know he's not probably not going to play, but if they want to get him in there for a minute or two to show his toughness, he can do that. He played down the stretch a little bit when they wanted to rest players. He started against Brooklyn and he played against the Nets a decent amount of minutes. He played good. Tyler Kolek was in the rotation a little bit. So all those guys that are on the bench as depth right now who aren't going to see postseason time have seen time during the year. So they'll be more than fine if they have to go in there and try to win. And if a guy goes down somehow, they'll be able to step in with no issue, I don't think. I mean, unless it's a superstar going down, it's tough to replace. But if one of those bench pieces do go down, which I think they'll be fine, it's okay. And the bench is coming together. I really like what they're doing. Shaman has been unconscious from deep. And that's the thing that they were looking to get. Obviously, in the beginning of the year, he was out for the first two, I think it was 2 months, maybe 3 months. He was out, so it took him a while to get his feet under him. But now he's making shots. He's playing great defense. If they can get that off the bench, maybe 12 minutes, 15 minutes of him just shooting like that, making shots, he can change the game right there. That's something that they were still looking to fill that DiVincenzo role. I know he's not. I'm not saying that he's going to be DiVincenzo because DiVincenzo started in the postseason last year. But he can do that in limited minutes if he can shoot like that, and I think he's going to carry it into the postseason. We all know Landry Shamit's that type of player. He can shoot from deep. He plays defense, and his limited time, no complaining, and he'll move on to the next game or whatever it is. Cam Payne, another guy. I think that he needs to limit his shots. I think he needs to be more so that guy that comes in off the bench, gives Brunson his little bit of time off, and then he comes out and he keeps the team steady and able to have a shot at not going down on a 12-0 run when Brunson's not on the court. That's what I think Cam Payne's role should be. Because I know he had flashes in the pan during the year where he shot really well, but then it was times where did not look great. So I think that he needs to just focus on that. Deuce McBride, I think he has more of a chance at um, doing well defensively. His shot has come around later in the year, but I think at end of games as well, you could see Brunson go on the bench in the final minute for defense. Of course, not the whole minute, but for defense, he can come in for Brunson, try to stop in this series, Kate Cunningham, whoever it is. Next series, it could be Drew Holiday, Derek White, maybe even Jaylen Brown. Like he can do those things. So I think his minutes may go down as a result of it being the postseason, but he'll still get his time where it's needed, and I think that's great. And like I said before about Mitrov, he's starting to get his feet under him. Now he'll have no limits, restrictions, or any of that stuff because they won't be playing back-to-back days. He's fully ready to go. He played great at the end of the regular season. He was getting a ton of rebounds, offensive rebounds. He was great at. That's why I'm trying to say he would be great in the starting lineup. But if not, in his limited minutes off the bench, he'll be more than fine. And he's another guy that can come in at the end of the game for whoever it is. Um, Play good defense, could come in for Cat, really, but anybody. Play good defense, get a rebound, and move on. So I think the bench is coming together at the right time, and I really think this team can they make a run. But if you're talking first round, they should win the first round easily. That's just my. I don't even think that's a hot take. I think that's just being realistic. They really shouldn't have an issue with this team. They didn't beat them in the regular season. I understand that, but postseason's a different game, and the Knicks just got to slow them down in transition because that's where they struggle. Knicks don't have that type of speed to go up and down the court. And once that happens, that's going to be tough. But I just wanted to give my X factor of the first round at least, and then basically the entire postseason. But Mikal Bridges will be the X factor. I talked about him a bunch of times already. He will be that guy this year. The regular season, 18 points per game, played every game, played a lot of minutes. I know we complained about the minutes, but I think it was just more so of just protecting his teammates. Wasn't a huge deal. He'll be playing a lot, 42, 43 minutes, definitely for sure, coming on once the weekend starts against Detroit. And I feel he can be tough against someone like Kay Cunningham, who he should be guarding. So I think he's more of an X factor on the defensive end than anything, because offensively he'll get his few shots that he gets, but he's not going to be counted on to score a ton. Like 18 is of course that's a third option, fourth option for this team. But defensively, he really needs to stop Kay Cunningham because that's been the guy that torched the Knicks in the regular season. They can't allow that to happen. For especially those first two games of the series and you're at the Garden, you got to get 2 wins. That you can't lose. That's inexcusable if you lose any of those games. But X factor definitely Mikal Bridges. And one last thing I wanted to talk about regarding the Knicks before I move on to the Rangers quickly there was just honestly I would believe if they lose in the first round or if they win the first round and get smoked in the second round, Tibbs will definitely be on the hot seat. Just the way the season ended, regular season didn't end too great for them. I know they didn't have a lot of guys; they were mixing and matching. There was a few times where he was arguing with Josh Hart. I mentioned that with the Bridges minutes thing. We also saw two coaches get fired recently. Denver Nuggets coach Michael Malone, who's a great coach, and he's gone. I know might have been a locker room thing, whatever the case is, but he's gone now. I can't think of the other one off the top of my head, but Tibbs can very easily be let go. I know it's a tough business, but he's been good, and he can be let go if they don't do what they're supposed to do in the postseason. And I feel that trajectory's been going up. The first postseason run they lost in the first round. The last two postseason runs they've lost in the second round. I know last year they probably would have beaten the Pacers pretty easily, which we saw they were doing before OG and all those guys went down when they literally had nobody. Josh Hart was playing injured, all that stuff. So that last year could have been a conference finals run, maybe even finals run. But this year should be an Eastern Conference final run. I know that the Celtics are going to be insanely good, and it's going to be tough to beat, but that's what it should be. So Tibbs could be on the hot seat. But that being said, enough Knicks talk. I know we got, like I said, postseason starts Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Crowd will be in it. We gotta hope the Knicks win. Those brackets will be up, and I probably have the Knicks going a little far in the postseason. But let's finish out with the team that did not make the postseason, who shares MSG with the Knicks, and that's the New York Rangers. They're just finishing out the regular season at this point. Game against the Panthers, and then a game on, I believe it's Thursday. Maybe they have another game in between that. I've lost count. They really frustrated me this year. I know that the team wasn't going in the right direction, so they got rid of guys. But I feel like they were in it to the end, where if they kept certain veterans, not like Truba, but other guys, they would have a shot. But that didn't go their way. They let the young guys play with the veterans that were not playing great, so it wasn't a good mix. They were eliminated officially on Saturday after they lost to the Hurricanes. Didn't really put up much of an effort. But coaching change is definitely possible. I've probably said that the last four episodes. Uh, Laviolette is definitely in consideration of being fired. Just I know it's the second season, but they played great last year. Postseason, they didn't do what they wanted to do, and now this year, not even making it. That's not good. It's not a good look at all. So they really gotta think about what they want to do. And I think that just overall, this team needs a different look. I know they've been in the postseason a ton after once COVID happened. Those years they've been in it pretty much every year except for this year. I think they really truly need a rebuild. I know people are saying they have talent where they can retool. And when you have a goalie like Igor, you don't want to rebuild because that's wasting years on his career. But he wasn't good either this year. So maybe just rebuild, rip it down. Really, no one I say you have to keep. They guys didn't do it. They didn't get it done. And this core group of guys did not get it done the last 4 or 5 years. I think it's time you got to go. All right, we're gonna rebuild. We're gonna try this over. Igor is gonna be a centerpiece. Gabe Perreault is going to be another guy. I said it right this time. He's going to be another guy you build around. Fox can be a guy you keep. I mean, he is young, but they can be let go as well. Certain guys you keep, and then you got to get rid of the rest. You got to stop trying to get these guys to get more and more out of their career. Like Chris Kreider, I'm sorry, but he's probably going to be let go. If it was up to me, I would say he's going to be let go. Just his production was really bad. I didn't even get the 30 points on the season. I know he had 21 goals, but he can put up a lot more than that. I really do think they need a rebuild. And the last thing with the Rangers, uh, Sam Rosen, of course, great commentator, play-by-play guy for the New York Rangers for a long time, is retiring. So Thursday will be his last game. Kenny Albert, who's done games, he's all over the networks, different networks. He'll be taking over for the Rangers. So that'll be definitely a more smooth transition than maybe people think. But Sam Rosen will be missed. Unfortunate that they didn't make the postseason in his last year. If he probably had a chance of redoing it, he would love to see one last postseason run. But that is not the case. But with that being said, that'll wrap up episode 33. I just want to thank everyone for following the TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, getting a few views. Whoever's out there liking the video, I appreciate that. I'm trying to figure out who it was, but it doesn't let me see it for whatever reason. But we appreciate that. Just keep getting those views up. Like I said, TikTok and Instagram. Leave comments, whatever it is. This week and next week going to be very packed. CT will be back with baseball probably the week after that, maybe the beginning of May, just because the way things are going right now. A lot going on. Very exciting time. Brackets will be up in the end of the week. Jets talk next week. Mock draft as well. Episode 33 is over. JDE out.